Fallon welcomes Jeremy Renner, NBC Tonight.
Who is your favorite judge?
Me.
Simon.
What?
Simon, I bet you're better at throwing.
AGT, Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Joel, are you ready?
No. Tuesday.
Felon.
America's favorite guessing game.
Gelin.
Return.
Gelin, like a felon.
It's not even a word, Joel.
You never said I couldn't just make up words.
Password returns Tuesday on NBC and Peacock.
Live from Rhinelander, this is News Watch 12 at 10, the Northwood's best news, with Jessica Jukic, Chief Meteorologist Jeff Weller, and Saul Meyer with sports. News from where you live starts now.
Good evening, I'm Jessica Jukic. Senate Democrats plan to force a vote Thursday on a bipartisan border security package. The legislation is designed to reduce border crossings, raise the bar for migrants to qualify for asylum, and quickly turn away those who fail to meet it. It empowers the president to shut down the border if certain triggers are not met. Senator Tammy Baldwin said action is needed to address the border.
It would be the strongest action that we have taken on our southern border in decades, not be the subject now of politics. This is serious business that we need to get done.
The bill would add 1,500 officers to the border and fund machines to detect fentanyl in vehicles crossing the border. The bill would also give resources to communities dealing with an influx of migrants and quicken the process for work permits. Senator Ron Johnson has criticized the bill.
When you hear Democrats say they want to secure the border, what they really mean is they want to make it more efficient to encounter, process, and disperse illegal immigrants who do not have a valid asylum claim throughout America.
The original bill was supported by some Republicans until former President Donald Trump told them to vote no earlier this year. It was endorsed by the National Border Patrol Council and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Jeff, after last night's storm, today seemed a lot calmer.
Much quieter today, a quiet night tonight, a nice day tomorrow, followed by some more thunder showers back in the forecast for us on Friday. But overall, high temperatures today, 64 here in Rhinelander, 70 for Green Bay. So low 70s across central Wisconsin, low 60s across far northern Wisconsin. Overall, most of us will have low temperatures tonight down near 50. A gorgeous evening here in Tomahawk right now. The wind is finally dying down, and temperatures are hanging out pretty much in the 60s across the area now. All right, so the big low pressure system right there is kind of moving up into Canada. See you later behind it. The wind will die down tonight. Still a bit breezy tomorrow, but the showers have ended. The clouds are moving out of here, and tomorrow is going to be a very nice day ahead of our next weather system gets in here on Friday with a line of showers and thunderstorms. Then until then, though, tomorrow high temperatures back up near 70 with a southwest breeze. A very nice day tomorrow. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is partly cloudy skies or decreasing clouds out there with low temperatures down near 48. Your full forecast is coming up. Jessica.
Crews are working to restore power and clean up debris after major storms swept through Wisconsin yesterday. 2 tornadoes were confirmed by the National Weather Service in Marathon County, affecting the communities of Unity and Edgar. The first of the tornadoes hit Unity, causing damage to several homes. The tornado has been rated EF1, which is the lowest severity of tornado. Another EF1 also struck Edgar and traveled northeast over 3.5 miles. There have been no reports of loss of life caused by those storms. Currently, the National Weather Service is out surveying the damage and may report more touchdowns in the future. The search for survivors in the aftermath of deadly tornadoes in Iowa continued Wednesday. 5 people died in the state and at least 35 were hurt after Tuesday night's tornadoes. Hundreds of first responders across the state are in and around the small city of Greenfield, searching homes and businesses that are now reduced to piles of rubble. There were 18 tornado warnings across Iowa. The National Weather Service has confirmed that it was at least an EF3 tornado that touched down in Iowa after an initial survey of damage. However, the NWS says more damage assessment evaluations will be done over the next several days, and the rating could change based on the information collected.
I heard like a train, and then insulation came from the basement, and I knew it was hitting.
The Iowa governor declared a disaster in 15 counties and visited the area today. Governor Tony Evers submitted a request to the Republican-controlled Joint Finance Committee to release millions of dollars to help communities after a recent UW branch campus closure. Today, the governor and the Wisconsin Development Corporation sent their $20 million request to the Joint Finance Committee. The funding will help communities like Richland Center, Washington County, Fond du Lac, and Marinette transition closed UW system campuses for new purposes. Communities would have to make a 20% match to get state funding. It would also prohibit communities from using the money to redevelop facilities that are or will be used for academic purposes. Several groups are calling on the DNR to enhance regulations for wake boats in Wisconsin. Multiple nonprofits joined the DNR's Natural Resource Board meeting Wednesday with multiple recommendations to better protect Wisconsin lakes. Among those recommendations, they're asking for the DNR to designate staff persons as contacts for ordinance development, provide guidance for local governments to create legal ordinances, and for the agency to provide regular online informational sessions on wake-related ordinance development. The DNR Deputy Secretary Stephen Little said that the department would be considering the suggestions, but would not make any commitments at this time. A new round of student debt forgiveness was rolled out by the Biden administration today. The White House said President Biden's canceling $7.7 billion for 160,000 borrowers, including certain borrowers who received public service loan forgiveness, like teachers, nurses, and law enforcement officials. The debt relief also applies to some borrowers signed up for the Saving on a Valuable Education, or SAVE plan, as well as borrowers who are receiving relief because of adjustments to income-driven repayment. Governor Evers made a trip to Pelican River Forest in the Northwoods today to join stakeholders for a hike and to celebrate National Travel and Tourism Week. Newswatch 12's Austin Carisu attended that hike east of Rhinelander and has more.
People really worked hard together to make this happen.
Over 67,000 acres of the Pelican River Forest will be protected, ensuring the forest will remain open to the public for outdoor recreation activities such as hunting, fishing, skiing, hiking, and trapping.
This is something that will last forever, and there's very few times that legislature or governor or anybody can say that, and these folks can.
The governor's hike included local officials and tribal members, as well as makes progress towards Governor Evers' Trillion Trees pledge to conserve 125,000 acres of forest and plant 100 million trees by the end of 2030.
I follow the lead of the people that live up here, and they feel very, very confident that it's making sure that land is available for public use on a regular basis, and it's going to be that way forever. That's an important thing, and our tribal nations feel the same way.
The hike also took place during National Travel and Tourism Week, and Governor Evers said despite the challenges his administration faced to conserve the forest, he's glad it will be kept available for public use.
All these people here will be 6 feet under, and this will still be the same. And people will be using it for recreation. Obviously, it'll be continued to be a real economic resource up here. So it was good, and I'm glad we were able to be here today to participate in this.
Reporting in Pelican Lake, Austin Carisu, Newswatch 12.
Thank you, Austin. 19 families have reached a settlement with Uvalde, Texas, after a deadly shooting at an elementary school. Coming up, we'll hear more about that settlement after Weather with Jeff, right here on Newswatch 12.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Northwoods Furniture, Eagle River.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you outdoors because we get you. So get your summer started off right with amazing Memorial Day savings throughout the store. Like Estate Weed and Feed, just $34.99. Save $40 on this Champion portable generator. Rewards members save an extra $10. Assorted bags of Royal Canin dog food up to $25 off. And rewards members get free same-day local delivery on all pet supply orders of $49 or more. We get you outdoors because we get you at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
At Lakeside Living Design, we've always got something stylish in store for you. Whether you're looking for high-quality custom upholstery, decorative accessories and gifts, or are designing your space entirely from scratch, you'll have a friendly designer by your side sharing their expertise, helping you bring your unique style to life. So stop by, explore our showroom, and together we'll make your space feel just like home.
Doorbusters. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday only. Get a free recliner with this reclining sofa. The Memorial 3-day doorbuster deal starts Saturday at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 60% off list. Like the luxury of a power reclining sofa, just $727. This beautiful bed marked way down. Deals this hot are while they last only, so come early. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The Memorial 3-day doorbuster deals. Only at Slumberland Furniture.
Doorbusters. If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Choose FlexBuy on a Ford F-150 and get 0% APR financing for 66 months, plus $2,000 FlexBuy cash, only for a limited time starting right now.
All right, the big low pressure is pulling away the clouds with it as well as the showers out there today. And now we're in for a very nice day tomorrow and then increasing clouds back in the forecast for Friday with showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. All right, there were 2 tornadoes where the system came through last night. Both of them rated EF1s. Here's the first one for Edgar. Again, about 3.57 mile path with this, winds about 90 miles per hour. No fatalities or injuries there. The second one was in Unity, close by there, 4.23 miles in length and winds near 105 miles per hour between 7 and 8 o'clock last night. Okay, for us though out there right now, it's 53 in Rhinelander, a west wind at 8, dying down finally. A dew point there at 47, and the pressure is rising rapidly across north central Wisconsin. Over in Wausau, 58 for you, a southwest breeze there at 7, and dew point there at 46, and again, the pressure is rising. All right, so the wind today was a thing, all right? We had wind gusts of 40 miles per hour throughout the afternoon. Out of the west, southwest as the big low kind of pulled away. These are dying down tonight, but tomorrow is still going to be a bit breezy with the low in the area. By the way, we had waves on Lake Superior today of 23 feet measured mid-lake up there. So overall today for us, though, temperature-wise, kind of hanging out in the 60s to low 70s. Right now, we're at 53 in Rhinelander, 52 for Antigo, 56 for Wapaka. It's comfortable out there. Dew points are dropping quickly, so the air feels cool as that breeze dies down as well. But going forward, so 72-ish tomorrow with some sunshine, and then back in the 60s for Friday, some rain showers on Friday. There's the weekend, highs back in the upper or middle 60s across north central Wisconsin. All right, so here we are out there today. Futurecast shows the clouds out there now. We're going to rotate out of the area this evening. Don't forget your sunglasses tomorrow, but I know your eyes are going over here. That's our next weather system, not for tomorrow, but for Friday, with a line of showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon. A couple of those could be on the stronger side across our neck of the woods. Our forecast then for tonight, though, is gradual clearing out there right now. Low temperatures near 48 with that southeast breeze around 10. For tomorrow, all right, here we go. So partly cloudy and a bit breezy tomorrow again. It said the perfect human temperature is 72. We might do that tomorrow with that southwest breeze around 10 to 15 throughout the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 7-day forecast by Northwoods Furniture and Metro shows tomorrow is a quiet day. There's a chance for thunder showers on Friday afternoon. Again, not severe, but a couple could be on the stronger side with some gusty winds, a high of 67. And then we dry out. Saturday is dry. Sunday, we'll call it increasing clouds Sunday evening, probably a couple of showers after sunset. And then Monday looks wet to me. The high temperature is 66 before we dry out again for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Jessica.
2 days before the second anniversary of the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas, 19 families of the students and teachers killed at Robb Elementary School announced they've settled a lawsuit with the city and have filed another lawsuit. Edgar Treguts has the story.
It was a heroic act, 77 minutes late.
On May 24th, 2022, 376 law enforcement officers rushed to Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, in response to an active shooter. The 18-year-old gunman barricaded himself inside a classroom with an assault weapon. But it took officers 1 hour and 17 minutes to breach the door to the classroom to confront and kill the teen shooter. 19 children and 2 teachers died, a tragedy that the attorney representing the families said should have never happened.
376 to 1. On paper, it should have been no contest.
Now, 19 families of the victims have reached a $2 million settlement with the city.
The families do not want to have what happened to them have happened to any other member of this community or any community in the state of Texas or any community in the country.
In addition to the settlement, the city pledged to roll out changes to the police force, including a new fitness for duty standard. May 24th will be designated as an annual day of remembrance, and a committee will work on a permanent memorial to the victims and support mental health services for those affected by the shooting. But the families are fighting for more. They have filed a new lawsuit against nearly 100 officers with the Texas Department of Public Safety, the school district, and several employees. The announcement comes one day after Uvalde School District Police Chief Joshua Gutierrez submitted his resignation. He replaced Pete Arredondo, who was fired in August of 2022 for his role in the failed response to the shooting. I'm Edgar Trakitz reporting.
A case of bird flu tied to a dairy cow outbreak has been reported in a farm worker in Michigan. State and federal health officials say that the worker had regular exposure to infected livestock and was being monitored due to that exposure. The person reported only eye symptoms and has recovered. This is now the second human case reported as part of an ongoing U.S. virus outbreak linked to cattle. A case in Texas was reported in March, and that patient has also recovered with no lasting problems. Health officials say the risk to the general public remains low. The Justice Department and several states are expected to file an antitrust suit as soon as Thursday against Live Nation. According to sources on the legal action, the lawsuit alleges antitrust violations in part due to the market dominance of the company's Ticketmaster unit. It could also lead to changes in the market for live events. So far, Live Nation nor the Justice Department have commented on that suit. Two area softball teams went at it for a third time this season, with Anago hosting Lakeland Union in a playoff game. Coming up, Saul Meyer will be here to tell us which team was able to win and advance to regional finals.
To tell you about the man I love, Eric, who is running for the U.S. Senate. A fourth-generation Wisconsinite, he started his first business in his 20s and then built and turned around over a dozen companies, creating thousands of good-paying jobs. He believes in the American dream, and he wants it to be possible for everyone. Above all, Eric is a man of integrity. These are the qualities I want in a U.S. Senator to fight for Wisconsin. How about you?
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
At WJFW, our News Watch 12 news team works around the clock to bring you the news that matters most of all to the Northwoods. Our team is committed to the community and ensuring that you are as informed as possible. NBC News Watch 12, news from where you live.
Upgrade your garage, patio, or basement this spring with our beautiful cutting-edge concrete coatings. Our coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy and guaranteed to increase your home's value. For a limited time, save up to $500 off your project. Plus, call during this program to see if you qualify for payments starting at just $30 a month.
I'm so glad we're finally getting our new boat.
Right? So you guys picked out a boat. I'm going to have that to you in about 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Not at American Marine in Shawano. Buy a boat from us today and have it on the water next week. And we have more in stock than anyone else in Wisconsin. Pick from 900 boats and pontoons, priced low and ready to use. We will beat any competing deal by $500. Start having fun now and get on the water faster with American Marine Shawano.
Who doesn't love ice cream? Enter the Birthday Club contest at WJFW.com for your chance to win a free single scoop of ice cream from the country store of Eagle River. Watch News Watch 12 today, Monday through Friday, to see the lucky winner of the day.
Huge online auction, Phelps, Wisconsin. Ford backhoe, Case lawn tractor, Boss snowplow, log splitter, pontoon trailer, antiques, home contents, and more. Contact Brass and St. Louis Auctions for more details.
Coming up on Newswatch 12 today, we'll have another edition of Why Watch for you.
Sounds very exciting, and we're drying out Thursday, but more storms on the way for your Friday. Morning tune on your Thursday from 5 to 7 a.m.
It's playoff time for high school softball here in Wisconsin. Lakeland Union and Antigo have already seen each other twice this season, but what's one more time with the season on the line? The T-Birds swept the Red Robins in the regular season, but both teams ended up tying for second place in the Great Northern Conference. So let's see who would come away with the win and advance to the regional finals happening on Thursday. In the 6th inning, Antigo trying to lay down the bunt, but check out the great defensive play from Addison Trapp. She catches it and makes the throw to first in time to record the double play. But Antigo showcased some solid defense, too. Ball was popped up and almost a near collision between Emma Beck and Jenna Zerneski, but Zerneski's able to make the catch and record the out. This game boiled down to one hit and one massive swing of the bat from Marley Strasburg. That goes yard for a 2-run homer. Lakeland Union will go on to the regional finals with the T-Birds winning this one 2-0. And it takes a lot to beat a team 3 times in a season, but the T-Birds did it thanks to strong play from their pitcher, Sailor Timmerman.
We've beat them twice, so it's hard to beat a good team 3 times. So I know I had to come out on my A game, and that's what I did. And I just started off and really went at each individual batter.
Timmerman was helped by the massive 2-run homer by her teammate Marley Strasburg, something she hopes she can duplicate in the next round.
It's definitely vital to our success as a team. Every player has good games, every player has bad games, so I'm happy for whoever's getting it done in the box. And she did that today, and it was awesome to see that, and hopefully that'll give her a lot of confidence moving forward.
Lakeland Union advances to the WIAA Regional Final with the win, where they will travel to New London on Thursday. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other high school softball games that are happening in our area. Starting things off, Mosinee took down Wapaka 11-0 at home. New London beat Merrill 12-2 to advance the next round, where they'll host Lakeland Union. Three Lakes lost to Manawa on the road, ending the Blue Jays' season as a result. And finally, Pacelli hosted Tri-County, and they beat them 15-0. The Milwaukee Brewers were in action, looking to win their first road series since April 21st, when they took on the Miami Marlins in the rubber match of this series. The Marlins won the first game, and the Brewers got their revenge in Game 2. Now it's time to see who's going to take this series. And the series went to the Marlins, with Miami winning it 1-0. They scored in the first inning, and that was the only run scored in the entire game. The Brewers will be back in action on Friday when they travel to Boston to take on the Red Sox. For the 6th straight season, Giannis Antetokounmpo has been named to the All-NBA First Team. He joins MVP Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Jason Tatum to showcase this season's All-NBA First Team. Giannis finished with an average of about 30 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 6.5 assists this season, to go along with averaging just over a steal and a block per game as well. He finished in 4th place in the MVP voting this season as well. Rhinelanders' Joey Bellinger is going back to the WIAA state tournament. Last year it was with Lane Rozier, and this year he did it with his new doubles partner, Dalton Fritz. The Hodag doubles team finished 3rd in their sectional tournament, qualifying them for state. Congrats, guys, and good luck. We'll be right back after the break.
Get an 11% rebate on all lighting at Menards. Illuminate your backyard and add safety to your home with outdoor security lighting. Pick up this outdoor light for $21.79 after rebate. Combine stylish lighting with LED technology with Fight Electric smart color-changing light bulbs. They have a full range of colors, allowing you to choose the perfect one to suit your mood. Get an 11% rebate on all Fight Electric smart bulbs now at Menards.
Save big money.
Dr. Anna, an OBGYN from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I was trained at UW-Madison for my undergraduate and for medical school. I'm a Badger through and through. Delivering a baby is one of the best parts of my job. One of the hardest parts of my job is giving a woman heartbreaking news that her baby has no chance of survival and giving them the option of having an abortion. Politicians like Donald Trump shouldn't be getting in between me and my patients, denying them options that would potentially save their life. Trump bragged about overturning Roe v. Wade.
We terminated Roe v. Wade.
My patients are worried. They're asking me, what are my options right now, and will I have access to birth control in the future? What is he going to try to take away next? If Trump was reelected, it would be devastating for women's health care.
ABPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the Turbo Max engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
1 out of 5 young people struggle with disorders like depression, dyslexia, ADHD, OCD, eating disorders, and anxiety. Every one of us knows and loves one of these kids. For expert information and free resources, visit childmind.org.
It's a fact. Problems with water in your basement don't get better with time. They get better with SureDry. SureDry professionals have been keeping basements dry and worry-free for over 25 years. Schedule your free estimate today.
Museums are made to preserve history, and one local museum has a unique twist when it comes to the history of the whole property. Our own Christopher Bouchong has more.
Elaine Max is the vice president of the Michikolsky Stovewood Museum. She said the building was built by a man named John Michikolsky that immigrated from Prussia back in the mid-1870s. John started working on the building around 1899, where he went on to creating a living quarters for his family and more for the community.
It was a post office, a saloon, an agricultural room. Upstairs is the living quarters of the main family, and there's bedrooms up there. They fed the loggers up there because they also rented out to loggers on a 3rd floor.
The property was operated by John and his family until the 1930s, when it was later purchased by a single man.
Sort of let it go into disrepair. Didn't really keep it up. And so throughout the 50s and the 60s, it just really went down. If you see pictures of what it looked like before it restored, it was like you should just light a match to it and burn it down.
Max said thankfully some local residents that had a passion for history were able to shine some light on it until the Kohler Foundation recognized the building.
And so then it became put on the list of the Wisconsin Historical Society. And from there, Kohler Foundation, starting in 1984, took it over and put $350,000 into restoring it to what you see now.
Max said one thing that made the building important to the Kohler Foundation was the special walls made of cedar that was used to help with installation.
It's called a folk art. And so it is quite warm. It's a thick, so it's quite insulating.
Now that they have almost completely restored the building, they are hoping to show off the way of life they had back then. Along with hosting events, such as the 1st of August will be their Stovewood Day.
Where we roast a pig, we have a band, we have craft fair, just a lot of things to bring people in. And it's always a good time. People like sitting around the picnic tables and eating and enjoying the band. And it's a community thing where people finally get together as a community.
For anyone interested, the museum is open all summer on Saturday and Sundays. Reporting in Pelican Lake, Christopher Bouchong, Newswatch 12.
I was born with a heart defect. For most of my life, it was safe to monitor with regular checkups. When I was ready to start a family, we knew it was time to make my heart strong enough for pregnancy. I was nervous, but my team at UW Health specializes in complex procedures, so they knew how to help my heart keep up with my dreams. They had the expertise I needed when I needed it, and now I'm ready for the next adventure. UW Health. Remarkable.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy.
Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Flow aluminum dock systems are made to bring time at the lake to a whole new level. You can create any layout you want and accessorize it for comfort and fun. They're strong, stable, safe, and they add a beautiful touch to your shoreline that will last for a very long time. Maybe it's time to join the thousands of other families that have turned their dock into a shoreline paradise. Maybe it's time for a Flow.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable, rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com calls Honda the best value brand. Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 best history. But we like ruggability. And you'll like the incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Tammy Baldwin is a hypocrite. During COVID, she told us to stay home, but used your money to fly to New York to live with her girlfriend at her lavish multi-million-dollar apartment. Baldwin pretends she's for Wisconsin, then jets off to Hollywood to raise money from celebrities. And Baldwin says she's cleaning up Congress, but hires lobbyists to her D.C. staff. Two-faced Tammy, a hypocrite we can't trust. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Builder Service. We are your hometown hardware store. Plumbing, electrical, paint, automotive, keys, tools, lawn and garden. We're more than just a lumberyard. Highway 45 in Elko.
I don't know what's going on.
You know, watching that story, I really want to go visit that. That looks so cool, that Stovewood Museum.
Oh, yeah,
I have to make a plan
awesome.
to go this summer.
Absolutely. You go tomorrow. Nice weather
Well,
back
Saturday,
forecast,
Sunday,
70 or
open.
so. Is it open on weekends? I'm not even sure the schedule.
Yes,
so you
Saturday,
should go
Sunday.
this weekend. That was a great story Christopher did there. Let's go outside and check on the temperatures, because we're hanging out near 50 currently. It's comfortable across the area now, but tomorrow even better. We'll have high temperatures back up near 70 or so throughout the afternoon. The big low pressure is out of here finally. We'll still a bit left over after yesterday's severe weather event. We have a couple showers left in the area and some cloud cover, but that'll be gone by morning. And then tomorrow we have lots of sunshine back in the forecast. And then look what happens. So 72 tomorrow, lots of sunshine, another round of showers, and maybe a couple of thunderstorms on Friday, probably non-severe. And the weekend looks mostly dry to me with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s.
Well, at least tomorrow will be good for shooting some sports. Not Friday.
No, not
but, you
Friday.
know,
But that's
take the
fine.
day.
That's fine.
Thanks, Jeff. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider. So switch to Spectrum and get a powerful network that connects nearly 500 million devices.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with free modem, no data caps, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee when you level up to a gig. Call 1-855-735-1336 or scan to call.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming with the most reliable internet speeds. Get a powerful network that millions of customers rely on. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with 99.9% network reliability, no added taxes or hidden fees, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee. Call 1-855-735-1336.
Call now.
It's Ford SUV season. Time to get out there and take on adventure in a whole new way. Start with great offers on Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport, all equipped with 4x4 capability and with the help of GOAT modes to go over any type of terrain. It's Ford SUV season. Let's get going. Lease a Bronco Sport for just $299 a month for 36 months for a limited time starting right now. Only at your local Wisconsin Ford store.
You've got this. Your big moment on their big day. The dress? Another one you'll never wear. Gift? practical. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay on direct deposits. So when you get invited to your third destination wedding in as many months, we'll be there with you.
When we first met Todd, we thought Jen was kidding.
You've got this.